What is the best marketing strategy to use for your e-commerce business in 2026? This is something I get asked all the time, every single year. In fact, what's the best marketing strategy? So I'm going to go through exactly what this is, what I recommend, what I talk to my clients in my paid programs, my Ecom Blueprint and Up-Level Mastermind programs. And hopefully it'll provide some insight for what you can do for your e-commerce business as well to scale beyond that $10,000 and $20,000 plus per month. So my name is Will De Bruin. If you don't know me, I co-founded an e-commerce business in 2013 with my brother. We left our corporate jobs, started a business from the kitchen bench, and that business has since gone on to do multiple seven figures per year. So I've also helped over 250 brands scale to record revenue months over the last few years as well, knowing what I know and helping them implement things as well. So when it comes to marketing, this is the lifeblood of our business, okay? Marketing, getting traffic, being able to access people that are relevant and engaged and most likely to buy our products is absolute key. It is essential. We can have the best functioning site. We can have the best converting site. We can have all the systems set up. We can have a mountain amount of product. But if we haven't got people to get eyes on our brand and obviously get people to our site, then all of that is worthless. And so marketing is probably the most least understood thing, because what it actually is essentially hypotheticals doing one thing and hypothetically expecting something else, meaning like an outcome, like it's an input to drive an output. And so with that comes uncertainty, comes that lack of confidence, comes that updates with platforms, algorithms, etc., even strategies. And so I just really want to hit the nail on the head in terms of something that is foundational that will carry through your career, certainly, but I would say honestly to infinity, because it's a fundamental principle versus the next flash in the pan method, right? That a lot of people bang on about. So essentially my answer is kind of this. It's not just one method. It's an omnipresence that is actually required. Now, just to explain a bit about my background. So I used to run meta ads. When people started asking me about Karmic and how did Karmic do so well, I was running the meta ads, the Facebook ads at that time. And I started helping them run their Facebook ads. We did really well. I helped, several brands scale to 6 and 7 figures per year. And essentially, when iOS 14 came in, the Apple's privacy changes, that upset a lot of things, including Meta, in a really, really big way. And so those that were only relying on Facebook ads, Meta ads, suffered significantly. I'm talking about dropping 50%, even back down to 30% of what they're currently generating just from only running one platform, meaning Facebook. And so they really, really struggling. A lot of businesses went under. The smart ones kind of kept going and adapted. But what I started to do was actually advise outside of ads, the impact of ads, all right, on ads itself, right? So in terms of, other marketing activities, it might have been organic efforts or email efforts, etc., which I'll go into. But the point was that it wasn't just about the meta ads anymore. Okay, to be fair, prior to 2021, 2022, I think it was, it was an absolute gravy train for Facebook ads. Like agencies could do anything and get results. Anyone could throw up some ads and get results. And then it kind of leveled the playing field with, really made sure that people were, thinking about their marketing strategy holistically versus just putting all their eggs in one basket. And so a lot of people default to ads when they say, what's the best marketing strategy? I will definitely agree in the sense of ads are the fastest and simplest way to scale your brand. Hands down. They're not the easiest though. And a lot of brands, I'd say 9 times out of 10, really struggle to get profitable results, or if they do, struggle to scale and continue their profitable results as they put more inputs in. And so whilst that is kind of the front runner in terms of the marketing strategy, absolutely getting obsessive with meta ads, it's things outside meta ads as well. Okay. And so this is my answer to that question. What's the best marketing strategy? It's a combination of them all. And I call it the marketing triangle, right? So you've got paid advertising, I'd say meta ads in this bucket. Then you've actually got your database and your email marketing strategy. And then you've got your organic efforts over here as well. So what are you doing in those 3 corners of the triangle that are actually going to contribute to one another? And I'll give you a really clear 2 examples. When Karmic sends out an email to its database, it's 40, 50,000 on the database. It can extract, anywhere between honestly like 10K and maybe 30K on a really good day from that specific database. Now, of course, that was the thing that emoted people to go and buy. Okay. But if we go and look at the meta ads account, we will see a massive increase in the ROAS, a massive drop in the cost per acquisitions on that specific day. Now, obviously, in this case, the ads didn't drive those results directly, but they were being served. They were attributed to people seeing those ads until such time that they actually went and bought. And in this case, it was within a 7-day window. And so that's that omnipresence, that circumvention I often talk about within our marketing efforts. What was most important in that circumstance? Was the meta ad the most important? Did they buy because they saw that first? Or did they buy really because the email came through at the right time with the right offer, right? my hypothesis, or my conclusion rather, that I advise people on is, well, they bought because of both. Honestly, like they may not even been on the database if they hadn't seen the ad first. Do you know what I mean? The other thing too is around, say, organic efforts, say influencer posts. The same thing happens. It drives sales, it drives traffic, and then the meta ads get credit, but they saw the ad first, or they saw the influencer first, whatever it might be. There was cross promotion, and so none is essentially more important than another. None is better than another. It's all about the execution and how they're working in together, and how they're basically creating that omnipresence. Because, you know, gone are the days where it's like 3 to 5 touch points that people need to make a decision. It's like 15 to 20 to 25 to 30. It's just that constant omni-channel presence that people need within their brands. And so what I'd encourage you to do, and this is what I'm talking about in terms of moving this into the future, is never be dependent on just one platform. Yes, we can get high leverage from some rather than others. Yes, some are easier to execute and learn and scale than others, for sure, but all are important. And so if you have these points of the triangle covered in terms of your paid ad strategy, your database email marketing strategy, and your organic strategy, they're all going to work hand in hand. You're going to benefit from all of them. So you must focus and have your toe in each one of those, because it's obviously going to increase performance, but even more than that, it's going to reduce key channel risk. So what happened in 2021 with iOS, when, as I say, brands basically dropped their revenues to 50% of what they were, or even 30% of what they were, because they had that key channel risk, they suffered. Some never recovered. Some went completely out of business. The smart ones adapted. The smart ones took my advice, basically, because I started advising outside of the ads at that point, and said, you need to have these other parts of the triangle running. And those are the ones that are still in business, still growing and scaling, you know, to this day. Okay. There's other, obviously, pros and cons and considerations. One is obviously cash up front when it comes to ads, you know, driving profit that comes from the other organic efforts as well. So all these things need to be considered and kind of massaged as you grow in experience and exposure to how to run things and do things properly. Okay. Now, as I say, this is obviously what we, you know, teach and actually strategize with our ecom brands within our paid programs, but I'm sharing it with you because if someone tries to tell you that one is better than the other, they've probably got their, you know, biases, and that's fine. But you need to understand the bigger picture and what all contributes to what, because ads just on their own is extremely difficult to scale profitably. And I just see this from speaking with and working with brands day in, day out across a wide range of industries and at a wide range of levels as well. Okay. But especially if you're doing less than 20K per month, you need to consider these things. Conserve your cash, build your skills in those areas, and make sure you have an omnipresence when it comes to our marketing, because they are all important. Okay. So look, I hope that was valuable for you. If it was, I'd love a like, love a subscribe. I'm creating videos like this all the time. Feel free to have a look and check some out. If you don't know more about how we help ecom brands, you can click on the link below and check it out there. But other than that, thanks for being here. Appreciate you watching till the end, and I'll catch you in the next one.